Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to Iron on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 308. Been spending a lot of time on the dating apps, and I'm going to read another one for you this week. But that's not the subject at hand. This week, via the YouTube channel, you might have seen if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, go subscribe at Iron on Wrestling. We uploaded a movie that was thought to be lost to time, something that I've had in my possession for years, and I didn't realize how rare this film was. Now it's on YouTube for all to see, and we are going to review it today. The 2010 film Woodshop, starring Jesse the Body Ventura. And we're also going to talk about a variety of other things. Should be a good show.
Pardon the interruption.
Hello.
I heard you said it was going to be a good show, so that was my cue to interrupt you. Aaron Bauer's in the building. What you up to today? How's that peck of yours?
Hurts.
Impeccable?
Hurts.
Oh.
Really bad. I think it's either severely inflamed or partially torn again, so that's nice. So
How did you do that?
Pressing. I was pressing 60 pounds, and not 60 pounds with one arm, 60 pounds with two arms. So, 30 pounds basically on both sides. And it just hurt really bad when I brought it down. And then this was last Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, of course, I worked out again. And it's just hurt all week, nonstop. When I poke at it under the armpit, it's very tender. My mobility hasn't really lost, but it's very tight. And I'm just paranoid. So I go to the physical therapist tomorrow, which is Tuesday. And we'll see what the therapist has to say. So I'm not very excited about that. But otherwise, I was going to say I'm good, but actually I had to go back to work today. I don't know how to feel. I'm alive. Is that okay? Is that a good thing?
I mean, it's not my favorite option for you, but...
Oh, my God. How are you?
Better than you, I guess. You're always down in the dumps.
I'm not
always
down
got
in the
some
dumps.
problem.
No.
Been off work for 6 months. Got paid for all of it.
I'm thinking about getting hurt in January when my disability kicks back in again,
Yeah.
So I can get 50 or 40% of my pay or whatever the hell it was. I mean, it wasn't great. Thank you to everybody who helped with the GoFundMe and stuff. It really helped me over the last few months. But, I'm thankful. Now that I'm back working, I don't have as much time to be creative, and I've been working on a lot of projects. As you know, I'm still writing the book. I'm doing some other stuff that I'm not going to talk about, but it'll come to light sooner rather than later. But yeah, did you have a good week?
Oh yeah. Good week, man.
Yeah. Anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, nothing that anybody will care about. I don't do anything cool or exciting.
Nothing.
I mowed the lawn. I was looking forward to that this weekend. I did that.
That's pretty boring.
So there's that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anything else?
Watched. Was there a pay-per-view this weekend?
There was.
Oh, sure was.
Clash in Paris.
Clash of the Champions.
No, Clash in Paris.
Clash of the Titans.
And we will review that over on Patreon. I don't know if that's going to be the free episode, but we are going to upload a free episode. Maybe we'll do a free episode with Clash of the Paris review. Clash of the Paris, at the Paris, in the Paris. Whatever. We might do that as the free one with a few of your
Clash
questions.
in Paris. That was early 2000s movie, right?
Might do a few of your questions from social media and Patreon as well over there. Patreon.com/Iron Wrestling for a buttload of bonus content. Free tier. We've been uploading a short free episode every single week for the free subscribers, so go over there and sign up. But if you want to contribute and support the show, $3 is the starting tier to get the bonus audio going back to 2019. Video for $5, $9. You get to pick a bonus podcast subject. You get to participate in the live chat when we do those. It's really the preferred tier. It's a great community to be a part of. If you go up in the tiers, you will get something in the mail from us. You could sign up now, but you won't be getting anything this month because it is the month that we send things out. We got some good things in the works before the month ends that you'll be getting for this quarter from Howard Animal Steel and his pink Cadillac, and just, a buttload of other tiers that you can sign up for to support the show. Patreon.com/Iron Wrestling. But probably want to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we've been uploading a crap ton of stuff over there as well. Woodshop, which we're going to talk about today, the movie from Jesse Ventura in 2010. Is there anything that...
Damn it, Goldstein.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Is there anything that caught your eye on the YouTube this week that got uploaded by chance?
Well, I spent most of my weekend watching this wonderful Woodshop movie with Jesse Ventura.
Took you the whole weekend? Okay, well... We uploaded...
No, it was what, an hour and 20 minutes, and it wasn't that bad. I had it on while I was doing some things.
We will talk about it. We uploaded Hacksaw Jim Duggan on a couple of kids' TV shows from the UK back in 92 and 93.
That's right when I was living there. I was a foreign exchange student, and
really?
I remember seeing the old hacker on, oh my gosh. That's who should have been in charge of Retribution.
Hacksaw?
Yeah.
Because he has hack in his name?
Right.
Do you think Hacksaw Jim Duggan knows how to use a computer?
I think he could.
Okay.
I don't know, man. What do you think? I
feel like...
He'd have to use a 2x4, right? To touch the buttons on the...
Maybe. I mean, he does a podcast now, but I feel like someone sets that up for him. Like, he has, a kid that turns it on for him or something. Hey, did you see... what I felt was the most interesting upload of all the things that we had, which let me talk about that in a second here, but we uploaded Roddy Piper promoting SummerSlam 92, Shawn Michaels on a kid show in the UK, eating baby food in 1995, something very rare that's rarely been seen, WrestleMania 3, Madison Square Garden press conference footage from a TV show that, sure you watched it back in the day, Crook and Chase.
Yep.
CNN.
Yep.
Yeah, so we found that. It's the only known footage that we know of from this Madison Square Garden press conference.
Was Crook and Chase the one with, there were two hillbilly dudes that sang about the neon light?
It was a guy and a gal that you...
Yeah, but I think the guy was maybe had something to do in country music. Maybe not.
Maybe? It makes sense. They were on the Nashville network.
Yeah,
so
okay.
We also uploaded from Crook and Chase, Ric Flair flirts with female hosts on the show. He was on
I can't believe it. Was it a repeat?
1993 is when he was on that episode of Crook and Chase. And something I felt was very cool, not on the internet, we found Buff Bagwell selling Goldberg pennants and charms and posters and T-shirts right before World War III in 1998. It's about an hour long. He's with the Nitro Girls, so all you perverts out there, if you want to watch that, we uploaded it on the YouTube channel. But my favorite thing that we uploaded this week, which I found was very interesting, and it's my recommend watch from the YouTube channel, I found from 1992, Shawn Michaels teaming in Japan with the Berserker.
Huss!
Yes.
Huss!
But what makes it even more interesting to me, this was on January 6, 1992.
Oh, not January 6th.
Well, this January 6th was a little bit different. January 6, 1992, as you know, it hadn't aired yet. It would air, I believe, on January 11th. But it was taped in December. Shawn Michaels had already turned on Marty Jannetty, which I feel like maybe is why they had him team with the Berserker. He's got a little bit of a beard here, but he's still wearing the Rockers gear. And it's more subdued. It's like a black and white print gear.
Right.
And it's weird. When I found this, I was like, how is this not already on YouTube? Shawn Michaels and the fucking Berserker. Very odd, but interesting to watch. It's about 14 minutes. I would recommend it. It gets a little wild and out of control for a second there, but it's like, I was thinking about just having my Hasbros as a kid, and at no point would I have thought to myself, you know what, maybe I should, let me pair up Shawn Michaels and the Berserker real quick.
I gotta give them a run in the tag division.
Like what?
Yeah, Legion of Doom has held these belts for too long. I gotta get these guys in there.
That would be teaming up, I don't know, Skinner an animal.
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
I think it's fun. I always loved that. It was the Joe Dombrowski posted something today, or at least I saw it today, where it was Demolition Axe versus Typhoon.
Oh, yeah, he did post that.
From an indie show in Pittsburgh or something.
Yep.
And that was always my favorite thing about like indie shows, or if you get the syndicated shows. You'd get like a random, Typhoon versus Demolition Axe match.
Yeah.
Or you get the Magnificent Morocco, and he'd be taking on George the Animal Steel. And there was like not any real beef other than one guy was a bad guy, one guy was a good guy. And maybe throughout the match at some point they'd say, well, this match is going to have some serious implications as to the Intercontinental Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so weird. I found something that I have to upload to the channel. I don't know if there's a match involved, but there's definitely a promo. In 91, Crush appeared for like one of the last Portland wrestling shows.
Yeah.
But he's in like the Demolition Crush gear.
Right.
With like, I forget who he's with, like in a promo, but it's just so odd to see.
Yeah.
With like grainy, shitty quality from like an indie show camera, him hanging out as Demolition Crush.
So that must have been when he had just signed with WWF as the third member of Demolition.
Yeah.
And he was huge in the Portland area.
Well, that would make sense then.
Yeah, so my guess would be he was whatever his normal character was one week, and all of a sudden he was just on the next week in full Demolition S&M gear.
Yeah, just, nothing too out of the ordinary. Before we talk about the Woodshop show, a couple things I want to throw out there. First and foremost, saw this dating profile. Just want to read it to you real quick. Now, this is how the photo looks. Can you describe it to the folks listening right now? This is Pamela, age 46.
Okay. There's a near empty, looks like maybe a Dr. Pepper bottle.
Yep. In her hand. Yep.
In multicolored sweatpants, some gym shoes, and this man is wearing a T-shirt that says...
It's a woman.
I'm sorry?
That
is a woman?
It's a woman. She cut off her eyes, by the way. That's the way the photo looks.
This once man is wearing, looks like a T-shirt that was made on a printing press, a cricket or something.
Yeah.
What is it?
She's giving the middle finger. I think it says it's purple. It has hearts, laughter. If all else, I'm going to guess, fails. Yeah. Then it says load. I don't even want to venture what the rest of it says, but that's
yeah. And then there looks like appears to be a wedding ring on one ring finger, and on the other ring finger, maybe like her class ring.
Maybe. Despite
it appearing like she has no class.
Her photo, one of her prompts says, "One thing you need to know about me is." Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, Aaron. If you were to say one thing you need to know about me is on your dating profile, just one thing, what would you say?
Do you like cats?
You would say, do you like cats?
Yeah. Or one thing about me is I do like cats.
That's better. Yeah. Okay. Here's her one thing. I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. The prompt, one thing you need to know about me is, my mother of 6 kids, 3 girls and 3 boys. They're all grown up. My youngest a teenager. He's 17. I have 2 step-kids passed away. And I have seizures.
Ooh, sign me up. You're getting drama, and you have to be there for other support. Medical support, physical support,
now
mental support.
She could have picked any one of those things.
Yeah.
I've got 2 kids that passed away. Again, I don't know why you would start with that.
Yeah, I don't want to start with that either.
I have seizures, but again, just seemed like a weird thing to do. But that is the dating profile of the week. So I ask, therapy or dating app? Which one should she be investing her time in? I'm not.
Well,
really
and
sure.
really, for you, you're into the dating apps, but you could take all these right to therapy with you and say, this is what I do during my time alone.
Yeah, I could have them psychoanalyze me and say, is this what you should be doing with your time, Greg?
And you're like, oh, yeah, this is great. I get to make fun of all these people.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, but this past weekend, Johnny Gargano had a little tweet that went a little viral. Did you see this at all?
Yes.
Okay. I want to read the tweet for you. The tweet is, as follows. This was on at 8:27 p.m. August 29th. 550,000 views. I want to host a podcast or a YouTube show where I interview different former extra talent from WWE segments throughout the years. But the catch is, they're actually speaking as the character they were that night, not who they are now. For example, there was an interview with Cedric Von Hausen, the champion of Liechtenstein, is talking, not Johnny Gargano. I want 100% improv fictional backstory about their life and recollection of that night. It's called Extra Extra. Hear all about it. Let's make it happen. So, got a lot of publicity with that tweet. So,
you think it was just because it was Johnny? Or do you think it was because of an idea that we had pitched on this show?
Well, we have talked about a similar idea.
I want Ben Boone, and I want to interview him as a doctor. I want him to leave, and I want him to come back, and I want to interview him as a security guard.
Yes.
I said it on this show months ago.
Yeah. So, that is an idea that we talked about long ago. So, Johnny is pitching me dumb ideas for the podcast that won't work. One idea that he pitched is the following. Do my other idea with Ben Boone. Extra, extra, hear all about it. And I said, so a podcast about him being an extra with me, who has never once been an extra. And he said, yes, because you're an interviewer, and he's a different character every week with a different backstory for the character. And I said, so you think like he has been multiple security guards with different stories? He goes, yes, different people. He sent out the tweet after I ignored him, okay? Because listen, I love Ben. I know Ben listens to the show, but we can only do so much with a show where I interview Ben every week as his character, a separate podcast from this one, okay? So he sends out the tweet and says, I'm going to show you. And I said, okay. He said, when I interview CM Punk, who has to pretend to be a Chicago mobster, you'll see. And I said, yeah, I don't have your platform. He said, could have been yours. You and Ben Boone could have been millionaires. And I said, yeah, again, I don't have access to anyone that anybody would want to listen to. And he said, Benjamin Bartholomew Boone, in all capital letters. And I said, that is not his name. And he said, star of The Bachelor. And then I said, he was never on The Bachelor. He sent me a quote tweet the next day. So this would have been yesterday. A guy named Steve Kaufman replied, I'll produce it. I don't know what Steve Kaufman does, but he has 20,000 followers. And Johnny says to me, he says, a lot of people want to be a part of this project. I said, once again, I don't have your platform, and your pitch was to have Boone explain all of his characters every week. We can only do so much with that. You pitched a completely different idea. He said, you could have had it all. And I said, the show won't last with people talking in character. It will turn into people just talking about being extras, famous enhancement talent. He said, that's not the show. I said, that's probably what it'll become. He said, I won't let it. It's Very Important People. Which, have you ever seen Very Important People?
No.
Okay, Very Important People is actually funny because it's comedians who, they show up, and that day they have like a professional costume designer put them in like a ridiculous outfit. And sometimes it's like with like special effects and stuff. So, for example, the comedian will show up, they don't know what they're going to look like, and they have to come up with a backstory for it once they see themselves, and like they'll be like a giant human rock. Okay, so they're like multiple rocks on this person's body, and they have to come up with a backstory of like how they became this person with rocks. Okay, so again, I understand the concept of the show, but I can't do it with just Ben Boone. No offense to Ben Boone. Then he's sending me Tomasso as a lawyer. Chelsea Green has an affair with Daniel Bryan. Sean Spears appears as Stan. Ricky Starks as Guy Ryback beat up. Bobby Roode as a cop. Punk and 50s gangster. Alexa or Charlotte as Triple H entrance ladies. Joe Henry as Russian diplomat. Want me to keep going? I said, I wish you all the best. I don't know why he's trying to rub this in my face as if I could have done something with this. Because you know what? Hey, Johnny, I don't have a job with the company. I think I could be a great podcast host, like a good mediator, a good in-between, but I don't work for WWE. How am I supposed to get in contact with all these guys to do this show? You pitched the show to me with just Ben Boone. I don't know why this is being rubbed in my face. Aaron, care to chime in?
I don't know, man. I like the idea because, well, it was mine.
You did pitch it a while ago.
But it'll never go anywhere because I won't be a part of it.
Oh, is that how it works? The idea is good, and I hope it works out for him.
If you're doing like a 5 to 8 minute podcast per week.
Well, I think now it has turned into a video thing, which again is not what he pitched. Like I envision this being a video thing.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be an on camera where like Tomasso wears like a shitty wig, so he looks like the lawyer that was with who was it, Muhammad Hassan, and then the Undertaker beat him up like in 2000. So he needs to look like that guy. Chelsea Green needs to look like the girl that had an affair with Daniel Bryan. So basically, she's Chelsea Green, but she has like no makeup. So you know what I mean? Like it's just you got to look like the character. I feel like it works better in video form. Wish you all the best, Johnny.
Didn't the one girl die that had an affair with Daniel Bryan?
That was the one that had an affair with AJ Styles. That was Claire Lynch.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. R.I.P. Claire Lynch.
She's dead in real life or just in the storyline?
No, she died in real life.
Huh.
Like
the storyline, though, she's still alive?
I think the character would die with her. Yeah.
I keep her going.
Okay. Well, I guess that's it. Take a commercial break now. When we come back, we'll talk about the movie that we have right now up on our YouTube, the Iron on Wrestling YouTube account, Woodshop, starring Jesse, the Body Ventura.
Oh, I got it.
What do you got?
I got, there's this idea I've been thinking of, and I wanted to pitch it to you.
Okay.
It's about this podcast I'm going to do. I'm going to need a logo for it, okay? I'm going to strike out on my own. I'm sorry to break the news to you this way, but I've got this new podcast I want to do where I find guys that were WWE extras.
Okay.
And then I want them to do interviews with me where they're just in character and we kind of just improv everything. So I think the logo, obviously there'd be 2 clouds.
Sure.
Ben Boone as a security agent on one. Mm-hmm. Ben Boone as a doctor on the other.
Okay. Where's KFC Ben Boone?
Ooh. I guess you could say he kicked the bucket. And there in heaven on clouds.
What about Secret Security Ben Boone for Batista?
He's you can't see him because he's secret. You can't find him anywhere.
So that was your big punch. So you had a good kick the bucket one for the KFC one, but that's all you can get for Batista.
What? Well,
which also, hold on.
Well, you couldn't tell because the sky is blue, and so is Batista.
Blue Tista.
That's right.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. Maybe.
Anyway, it's Juan. He does it.
Juan Ortiz.
He's in my phone. I got him, his number and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anybody can contact Juan if they want some sort of design. Now, he is a pretty top tier figure. I mean, he's done art for some of the most notable wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, I remember the world famous Aldo Montoya soccer ball design that he made.
Yeah,
people have been talking about that a lot lately. It's come back into the forefront because we have Dios Salvador looking to get shirts made. So,
is this a real thing?
No, not that I know of.
Okay, all right. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But he's made designs for Seth Rollins, The Undertaker. He's made things for the Young Bucks and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. He's had his stuff shown off in WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, and just about every notable promotion you can think of. His stuff's been on figures, on Titantrons for graphics. He's just, he's a jack of all trades when it comes to designing shirts and logos, which you can design a logo for your big or small business, but really any piece of art that you would want for a t-shirt or something to hang up in your house, something to gift to a family member or a friend or a loved one of any kind. Juan Ortiz is your guy, and he's affordable. If you mention Iron on Wrestling, you're going to save $20 on your first design. Wow, 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 wow. So here's what you're going to do. You are going to go to and contact Juan Ortiz via Instagram @OfTheDeadDesigns. Go to his Facebook, facebook.com/OfTheDeadDesigns, or go to his website, ofthedead.weebly.com, because Of The Dead Designs is bringing artwork to life. Now, I got to say something. We mentioned Batista for a second, and, I just want to send out thoughts and prayers to both Batista and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I don't know if you saw recent pictures of them, but they have lost weight. And
they're tiny as hell.
It's not looking good. I don't know if they have some sort of disease of some sort.
Yes, they do.
Or what is it?
Well, they got 2 of them. So,
what?
2 diseases.
What are the diseases? Do you know?
Well, shillelagh is one of them.
I'm sorry, shillelagh?
Mononucleosis is the other.
I think a shillelagh is a weapon.
Yeah, a weapon against keeping your weight on. Okay. And so how can we combat that?
Well, I would say that Mike and the folks at TNT Health can help The Rock, Batista, and really just the common man.
Yeah, any of these other puny fucks out there.
Oh, my God. TNT-health.com has a plethora of supplements over on their website. They got stuff for pre-workout, stuff for post-workout, everything in between. I like using their creatine for pre-workout, glutamine for post-workout, muscle recovery. I use their organic vanilla protein, which has roughly 24 to 25 grams of protein in each scoop and about 100 and some calories there. Not too shabby. Put that with some oat milk, mix it with a banana, maybe even a little protein cereal sometimes, or sometimes I use like the protein.
Peanut butter?
Peanut butter on occasion, yes,
yeah.
But I also like to use protein cornflakes in the bottom. Again, it goes perfect with the vanilla because then you get the little crumpled up flakes at the end of it. It's delicious. Chef's kiss. Mike isn't just a normal supplement seller. He's going to sell you results. He's going to hold your hand every step of the way. He's going to help you track your nutrition, your macros. He's going to help you get the supplements that you need. He's not just going to sell you something just because he wants to get a few extra dollars in his pocket. He wants to help you hit your own personal health and wellness goals. And that's what it's all about, right? And he knows you're not perfect. He'll help you track your nutrition so that way you can have that cheat meal. You can have that snack when you want to because he knows that no one is perfect. We're all human beings and we want to enjoy our food and also enjoy our healthy lifestyle. So what are you waiting for? Go check out TNT-health.com right now. It's free to look, but if you buy anything, 10% off with our promo code IRONON, IRONON, IRONON. Save yourself 10%. Do yourself a favor. Go to TNT-health.com right now because at TNT Health, it's about your health today, not tomorrow. And we're back on Iron On Wrestling, and we are going to give our review of this lost movie, 2010's Woodshop, which was an independent American film written and directed by a guy by the name of Pete Cogan, not sure.
Hogan!
Woo! It was released on DVD on September 7th, 2010. Produced by Colorado-based 42 Productions, the film originally premiered at the University of Colorado Atlas Institute in Boulder, Colorado on February 15, 2009. This stars Jesse the Body Ventura. Now, I want to tell you some interesting facts about this film real quick. Now, Woodshop was not originally supposed to be the film that was created.
Okay.
According to Wikipedia, while in pre-production of a production known as Coda, Peter Cogan came across technological and budgetary issues. Cogan wanted to originally film with a 35mm camera, but was advised to buy then upcoming Red 1 camera. Calculating the risk and waiting for its release and experimenting with the new camera for his ambitious science fiction project, Cogan decided to temporarily shelve Coda and make use of the pre-production crew, actors, and new technology he had on set for it. Over the period of one weekend,
Wow.
Cogan developed a script from ideas he wrote in high school Woodshop class. This became Woodshop 42 Productions' first self-produced feature film and one of the first to be shot in ultra-high definition with the Red 1 camera technology. So, to recap that briefly, he casted everybody with a science fiction movie in mind. And it became this movie about woodshop with Jesse Ventura as a woodshop teacher. Your thoughts?
Brilliant.
Isn't that like just a step in the totally opposite direction?
Yeah, but, just like with John Cena's less than successful heel run, you got to know when to just switch things up. And he did, and he made the best out of it. And I think we got lemonade here.
You think so?
Yeah.
Now, so I didn't realize this, but this film, so I had bought it. I bought it right when it came out. I don't remember if I bought it off the website or if it was on Amazon or something, but you cannot find this movie on DVD now.
Yeah.
I
looked when you sent me the clip or whatever.
Yeah.
I looked around. The only place I could find this movie was on guzzleboys.com. And so obviously that's where you must have got it. Congratulations.
I own the movie.
Gold member, a platinum member.
The synopsis of the film. Class valedictorian Chris Johnson is a high school senior who is only interested in one thing,
Yeah.
maintaining his 4.0 GPA and moving on to an Ivy League school.
Oh.
But when he blows up a classroom in a chemistry class mishap, he receives a devastating F that threatens his ambitions. Chris strikes a deal with the school's principal and agrees to spend one Saturday of detention in the woodshop in exchange for wiping the grade from his record. What Chris didn't count on was having to survive the ex-Army Ranger who runs the workshop, the eccentric students in class, and one kid's plan to blow them all up. Now, first off, when I went to school in the 90s, we didn't have woodshop. Did you have woodshop?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell me about your experience with woodshop, and was it ever used as a punishment if you, had to go to detention? Like, you have to go to woodshop
You would have rather gone to detention than to woodshop.
But was that a thing that they would do?
I don't know if they put you in detention of woodshop.
Yeah.
But I knew that's where you didn't want to be. Everybody smoking cigarettes, breaking rules. Music was loud. A lot of cussing.
In woodshop?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds
that's where
like
all the kids that weren't going to graduate or were maybe on the verge of being in the learning disabled class, they would all just be shoved into woodshop.
But what you're describing is much funner than sitting there quietly and doing a writing assignment. You smoking,
for sure.
drinking,
Well, just because
a lot of cuss words.
Perception was so bad, no one wanted to do it unless you were one of the troubled kids. So it was full of kids that skipped school a lot and smoked cigarettes and drank 40 ounces out of a brown paper bag at lunch. So
what did you ever build in woodshop?
I never took woodshop. I was in a good class.
So it was strictly for bad kids.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where they would, the guidance counselor would call you in, and you go, okay, well, you've gotten through 9th grade, so now we have to start making some real decisions here. And the kid would go, well, am I taking Spanish or am I taking French? And go, no, you'll just be in woodshop. And woodshop was all day. It wasn't like you got, an hour of woodshop, then an hour of math, then an hour of Spanish, whatever. It was, you just had 6 hours of woodshop that you'd be there for 3. And then you'd go get drunk the rest of the time, smoke cigarettes.
Interesting. Okay, so woodshop, would you believe that?
But, hey, we should say this. All those kids that were in woodshop all have full-time jobs, run their own businesses right now.
Okay.
The guys like me, that everybody kept saying, hey, the smart thing to do is for you to go to college and pursue your dream of writing for a newspaper, because newspapers will be around forever. Who knows how long they're going to need people to work on wood or fix a car or
it's
plumbing.
That seems really dumb even back in the early 90s.
Well, the push was all for you had to go to college. If you did not go to college, then you were never going to be anything or do anything. Yeah. And there was never the opposite side where people were like, hey, learn these real life, real world experiences and do something real and secure for the rest of your life.
Woodshop is the first film that Jesse Ventura did after being governor of Minnesota.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a good first choice?
I think it's a good choice when your money starts to run out.
You think
it
he
didn't seem like
money?
It was that difficult. I don't know if he was hurting for money, but he probably wanted money. I think everybody does, and he had. He was the lead, I guess. Yeah. His name was on it. He was the starring Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
I don't know that he had more than 15 lines in it. And most of them were like, Jesus Christ, you kids, what are you doing?
The thing is, we'll go into detail about the movie, but, at times it seemed, forcefully chaotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it seemed like he kept setting himself up to get mad. He was not paying very good attention to these kids.
Oh, he was in, a room on his computer at one point, and 2 kids were fighting. Yeah. And he's just listening to it.
There was a lot of fighting. Many sexual assaults in this. It was very odd, and they tried to do a teen sex comedy, but it
looked like it was supposed to be. What was the movie that everybody liked? Don't you forget about me? Breakfast Club.
Generic Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
I was going to say that, but it was bad though. Breakfast Club is a good movie.
Yeah, Breakfast Club was fine. I haven't watched it in 20 years, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't hold up, but this movie sucks ass.
Now Leo from Patreon.
Then and now. Now forever.
Leo from Patreon said he watched it, and he doesn't seem it's that bad. He said he looked at it as if it was a movie that if it would have been a book, it was written for kids in school.
Right.
But it wasn't, because there's some weird stuff. It's definitely a 2000s movie, but like for being what's supposed to be a teen coming of age sex comedy, I felt none of those things in this film. So it definitely feels like something that was done over a weekend. So let's kind of dive into it. I want to point out one more thing too. Like none of these actors gone on to do anything of note really, except for the guy who played Gary, Ross Marquand. He he's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was on The Walking Dead. He actually has done several things. This was, I believe, one of his first movies. Yeah, like in his first 10 movies back in the 2000s. And mind you, when he was playing this high school bully, he was 30 years old. So I just want to point that out. He looks every bit 30 years old.
He sure does.
In this role. So the movie starts with the titles graphic, and it says, we hear Jesse Ventura saying, "Damn it, Goldstein." And you would imagine, oh, okay, this is going to revolve around this Goldstein character just cutting up. No. The lead is a guy named Chris. We start with a shot of him riding a bike to school, and then he makes observations walking into school, which, mind you, what did you notice about the school that he walked into? Because it just looked like a giant warehouse that they brought in a bunch of lockers to try to make it look like a school, but it didn't look like a school at all.
It had used to be a school at some point.
You think it was a school?
I think they may have had a school there, and then it was like an abandoned school, and they were like, "Oh, cool, we get this for the cheap."
Because it didn't look like any school I've ever seen before.
Yeah.
It was just like, we need to purchase a bunch of lockers and roll them in
Maybe,
into a warehouse. Because it looked like a big warehouse with lockers in various areas. Like there was no separate lunch table or anything. The lunch table
your lockers
and the
were
lockers
next to you.
and everything was right by each other. It was very odd.
It almost looked like a storage unit.
Yes, which I could believe it on the low budget. So now, Chris, we're hearing his frame of mind again. It's very Breakfast Club inspired. So we're hearing his voiceover, and he makes some comments about the different cliques in schools, and he looks over at some cheerleaders, and he mentions that they are too young, and then he makes a comment that can only be made in a 2000s movie, where he says he calls one of the groups of girls sitting at a table girls that don't want to admit they're lesbians.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that being said in a film in
Right.
2025? I wrote a note of a bunch of lockers that were put into a warehouse. One of the first things we see is this bully, Gary, beat up a kid for a Walkman. He looks 30. Of course,
Oh, yeah, because it's funny because the kid goes, "I don't even know what a Walkman is."
Yes.
This 30-year-old man is beating up this child.
Yep.
And they said he had been held back 5 times or something
Right,
like
so
that.
they tried to make it make sense.
Yeah.
He ends up drawing on the locker after the fact, which apparently is going to be one of his calling cards. He makes these cartoons where I really can't even tell what's happening in them. Was it just me, or some of these lines that are being delivered, the audio is very bad in this movie?
There were times where I had to adjust it on the YouTube channel or on my phone. Yeah.
Because I couldn't understand, the actors talking over each other. I can't hear what's being said because one point, we get into a scenario where he's in the chemistry lab. On the way to the chemistry lab, I believe, he says something while another character is talking about crazy librarian sex, but I can't understand what he's actually saying. What is the joke here? I don't know. As he is interacting with his friend in the chemistry lab, who it's going to be his friend Trey. Apparently, we're going to find out later that he's always done Trey's homework and stuff. Trey asks him, "Why didn't you do the homework I sent for you?" And he's like, "Well, you didn't get over to me in time." And then Trey says, "What am I your secretary?" He goes, "Well, yeah." Then he knocks his papers out on the floor. So I think the idea is Chris is supposed to say a bunch of awkward, weird stuff, but he ends up saying under muffled breath, and he delivers it like this: "Why don't you drop your pants and I'll look at your vagina?"
Yeah.
What the fuck what?
Yeah, well, I think because his friend, what was the name again? Trey?
Trey, yeah.
Yeah, I think because Trey doesn't have a penis. He lost it in a woodshop accident.
That was not said at all.
That'll be in the prequel.
You're coming up with ideas to make this make sense. All the kids in the chemistry class get Fs. This teacher seems like a real dick. They all get a writing assignment. Trey gets in trouble for calling the teacher a sick little monkey under his breath. He calls him a sick little monkey.
I had to go back to that line because I needed to know who he was saying it to exactly and what he looked like.
Yeah, so he called him a sick little monkey,
Uh-huh.
and they have a back and forth, him and the teacher, and he says he's going to take his weekend away, make him go to work, Woodshop, and he says, I don't care because I'll still be driving my BMW, and you'll still be a sick little monkey. Now, mind you, there are going to be some raunchier jokes in this film. I mean, we just mentioned how, Chris just referred to one at the table as, girls who wouldn't admit they're lesbians, and then the best insult that this kid Trey can come up with is sick little monkey.
Yeah. That's maybe why Trey's so angry.
Because he's got a BMW and no good comebacks?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So after the sick little monkey spot, Chris is messing around with some chemicals and he caused an explosion by accident. The teacher is pissed off. The teacher, the principal are behind the door while Chris is sitting in the office. And the teacher and the principal talk about how this kid might go to Harvard. Teacher says he won't fail the kid. But he comes out swearing at him like he wants to fail him for causing the explosion that appears to be on accident. The teacher calls him a little shit. This Chris kid is a real pushover. He doesn't do anything. Chris gets called in the office by the principal. The secretary, for some reason, listens from behind the door, but there's no follow-up from that. Like, there's no reason for her to do that.
Right. I figured like she was going to expose somebody's plan later on.
Nope. Just she's listening behind the door for some reason. She has no speaking line. She literally contributes nothing to the film. Principal is determined, he tells this kid Chris, to have an Ivy League student. Forces him to go to Woodshop on Saturday as a punishment with his lab partner Trey. Now, it's because he thinks if he doesn't give him a punishment based on what he did in the lab, that he's going to get heat for it. So he's got to give him some form of punishment. Now, I don't know if this to be the case. Do you know of principals being determined for some reason to get an Ivy League student? Like, is that something that principals want?
If you needed to fit the narrative of the movie, I guess.
But in real life, that's not
I've never heard of like a principal going, I have to get
we
this
need
guy.
to get 10 Harvard freaking graduates. Like, I don't understand, like, why that's a thing. So Chris and Trey end up driving to school in his BMW, so he doesn't have to take his bike. They banter back and forth. At one point, they make the comparison to going to Woodshop, similar to getting pounded by a dildo covered in spikes and hot sauce. Now, again...
Sounds like an AEW match.
Okay. Now, as a reminder, when Chris and Trey are saying this, the last insult that Trey had said to someone wasn't like, I hope you get fucked by a dildo covered in spikes and hot sauce. He said, you're a sick little monkey.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So they pull up, and there's two kids working on a car. One's holding a tire for some reason. Trunk is open. Trey compares the kid's car to a dirty old prostitute, and then he elaborates further. Do you remember what he said about why it reminded him of dirty old prostitute?
It was something raunchy.
He said it's dirty, self-explanatory, washed up, and Korean.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently dirty old prostitutes are typically Korean, according to Trey, the student in this film. Your thoughts?
Well, I think that Trey has a lot to learn about life.
Yeah.
Not all prostitutes are Korean. Some of my favorite ones have been from south of the border. Some of them have been from the north west region. Some of them from the western states.
Did you ever get your nose bit off by a Saigon whore?
No.
You don't even know the reference, do you?
It's in that movie?
What movie?
Whatever we just watched?
No.
Okay.
No, Dirty Work. One of Chris Farley's last roles.
Yeah, dude, I watched that years and years ago. I loved it. I rented it and videotaped it with the two VCRs, you know?
Yeah, you dubbed it, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think ECW was on later that night, and so then I just taped over it.
Dirty Work is so good.
Yeah, but you could get it anywhere now.
So the bully also has detention for stealing that Walkman earlier in the film. So this is on Saturday, by the way. So now we see for the first time Jesse Ventura come out. His character's name is Mr. Madison, and he's mad about not being able to fish for the weekend. One of the kids, I believe it's Trey, tries to give Chris a little backstory. It tells him that he used to be some sort of like park ranger. But of course, Jesse Ventura's character corrects him and says, Desert Storm, thanks for the introduction. So they make sure that his character was in Desert Storm. Mm-hmm. He orders Trey to show him how to make a gun rack, and he says so by telling him, first saying to Chris, You ever go hunting, son? And then, he just somehow wants him to make a gun rack, so that's his project for the day. He pulls the bully into his office because he's causing chaos. I wrote that this seems like a poor man's breakfast club, as we just elaborated on.
I think it's funny. Boy, when you were a kid, if you were in art class for Christmas, you made your parents, out of clay, an ashtray.
Yeah, I made that for my dad. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also for Woodshop, your first project was always a gun rack.
Uh-huh.
So guns and menthol cigarettes.
A gun rack? What am I going to do with a gun rack?
What does he say? I don't even own
a
gun,
let alone several guns that would necessitate an entire rack. What am I going to do with a gun rack? And then, of course, Stacy says, Wayne, if you're not careful, you're going to lose me. And then Wayne says, I already lost you. We broke up 3 weeks ago. Are you mental? Get the net. The next thing that happens is Chris starts making some gay comments to Trey, and Trey starts getting real homophobic, calling him gay. Apparently, Trey doesn't mind Woodshop. He made a guitar, which he shows off, like part of a guitar that he keeps in a locker in the Woodshop class. Now, mind you, it's not... Trey was punished to go to Woodshop, but he makes it seem like he's frequently in Woodshop. Now, is he there because he's always getting punished, or because he said he likes Woodshop? So is he purposely getting punished to go to Woodshop and hang out with Jesse Ventura, or what's the deal?
Or was he just not college material?
Well,
they've been putting him in
Woodshop. At one point, Trey tells Chris to prep your stock, and what could only be considered a Greg line, because I say this frequently in text messages, Chris's response was, I'd rather prep your stock.
Yeah.
But he says it so awkward to where it's like not cool or funny. Like, this movie is not ever funny, which is a problem that I have with it.
When you say it was made in a weekend, it seems like, these guys didn't have enough time to, really put in any thought to their characters.
Yes.
It's just like, okay, you're going to be the bully. All right, I'll talk like this.
Yeah. There's a...
Johnson, you suck my dick.
There's a girl in the class, so of course Chris and Trey start making comments about how she really knows how to work her wood.
Oh, yeah. Something about her knob.
Goldstein, who of course we hear him in the beginning of the film, the voiceover from Jesse Ventura, damn it, Goldstein. Goldstein shows up with on his skateboard and he's late. Ventura is annoyed. Dude can't concentrate on the wood carving because he's staring directly at the girl. This is Chris, who stares at the wood carving like she's boned up. So as Trey is making the wood, for some reason, she's staring at the wood that Trey is carving very sexually while Chris is staring at her. I don't understand what we're trying to create here. It's strange.
Well, okay, so there's one girl.
Yeah.
So every dude that's not gay is interested in her, okay?
Yeah.
And then she is so turned off by all these dudes because they're just high school dudes and they say dumb stuff and they smell kind of funny.
The wood
yes, she likes the thought of the wood because they say, "Are you making another dildo for yourself?"
After this, we get a flashback to Goldstein fucking up to give him a backstory and a reason why
Was this chess?
No, so we're not there yet.
Okay.
So one thing that out of nowhere this film starts to rely heavily on is just random flashbacks. Like it'll just randomly go 5 years earlier, 7 years earlier, 10 years earlier. And it's like, so I guess we're supposed to understand that at some points these kids know each other or this thing happens. Sometimes they go to a flashback and it's really not explained who these other characters are in correlation to the characters that are currently.
You might be able to look and go, okay, I could see maybe that was the kid, that was that kid as a younger kid.
Yeah.
But really it's not explained very well.
So we get this flashback with Goldstein. Now we don't go too far back with him. This is just basically a montage of him screwing up a wood shop. He's carving wood flies. He takes a chainsaw to rounded wood. He nails his hand to some wood. His shirt gets caught in a machine. So Jesse Ventura's getting pissed. He's, damn it, Goldstein. Damn it, Goldstein. He's hitting his big catchphrase that they're trying to get over with the guy that is not the main character. So because of his frequent fuck-ups, he's forced to just sit on the stool at a table, and Ventura will just give him a C just for sweeping up sawdust. That's the gimmick. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it sounds like fair trade. I mean, you don't want to have a dirty workshop.
Chris leaves wood on machine unattended. It flies through the window. Apparently, we're supposed to laugh at this. It is not funny. It just kind of randomly happens. We, of course, get a damn it Johnson. So that really, Jesse is just here to kind of get mad occasionally, but not too mad. Like, he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, because he's not a heel. He's just like almost a grumpy old man.
Yeah.
But he saved, this nation.
Chris is sitting with Goldstein at one point, and he realizes that he's good at measuring the wood. He's very good at math. He's a child prodigy of some sort. So then they go to one of our first flashbacks, which apparently Chris was traumatized because unbeknownst to him, Goldstein was actually a kid that he played chess with back in 2000, 7 years earlier, as it says on the bottom of the screen. Goldstein wins, flips table, and makes Chris cry by just kind of rubbing in his face that he beat him at chess. And so Chris admits because of that incident, he now has low confidence and pisses himself when he's near a chessboard.
Thought that was weird.
Right? That's just some
like
random...
You wouldn't tell that to somebody that you're just in detention with or whatever.
He calls Goldstein a stoner loser who then puts wood chips on his paper out of anger. So Goldstein just takes a bunch of wood chips and sweeps them onto his paper. Ventura, who can't seem to keep this class in order, just decides he's going to go on a coffee break. Students encourage kids...
Hey, hold on. When he announces the coffee break, he addresses the class as, well, ladies, I'm going to have to go on a coffee break now.
Yes. Well, at least it wasn't insulting to the one lady in the class. But, so Ventura goes on his break, and the students encourage Chris to make sexual gestures behind the only girl in the class's back. So as she's working the wood, he's, like, standing behind her and, like, acting like he's slapping an ass and stuff. And then...
Classic Goldstein.
Girl ends up kind of seeing him do it, and then Girl asks him what she thinks that he's working on, and Chris says he guesses a dildo or a big penis.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So again, like, the delivery isn't that of like someone who's like awkward. It's just like he's trying to be funny and cool now, but it's just, again, it's not funny at all because like there's no comedic timing to it. It's very strange. The girl says that he seems to know too much about dicks, and then asks him if he likes girls.
Oh, she got him good.
The sound is bad. Chris tries to say something about this one time, and the kids pop, but you can't hear what he's saying because the audio in this movie sucks balls. Trey goes out to his car. It's been drawn on. We have to assume that's his bully Gary. Tires are slashed. The kids at the other car who are working on the car make an offer to fix it for nothing for some reason, even though Trey insulted them earlier and called their car equivalent to a dirty Korean whore. But then there's a flashback to 5 years earlier where the kids that are fixing the car are presumably these kids that are now fixing a bike in the flashback, and for some reason the kid holding a tire has a comically big unibrow that he doesn't have as an adult. Like, I don't understand why they did that. Trey, the kid version of Trey, shows up with the kids who make fun of the bike, but Trey acts like he wants to buy it to make those other kids feel dumb that are making fun of these kids, and because he doesn't really want to buy the bike, he just thinks that the one guy is an asshole, so he acted like that he wanted to buy the bike. Again, this is like, we're reaching here.
Yeah.
Like, what is this guy coming up with here? They decide to race bikes after. Okay, is what I wrote. We cut back to the workshop. We didn't need this scene at all. I don't know why we did this. It's just weird. We could have gone without this flashback. Because it's not like we create this like loving bond really between these two kids and this Trey character. Bully admits to messing up the kid's car, randomly tries to sexually assault the girl in the class. Ventura comes back and simply orders him to leave her alone. And that's it. He just grabs him, and he's still in the class fucking with people. So, like, I don't know why that's all that happens. Like, he's just grabbing this girl around the waist, and it seems like he probably should do more than just be like, hey, stop it. Your thoughts?
Well, she was in woodshop class.
Oh, so she deserved it? Is that it?
I think that's what they were implying here. But again, this was the early 2000s.
Some random tall jock guy shows up for some reason all of a sudden. Now,
where did this dude come from? I rewound it twice because I thought I missed something.
So here's the thing. It just seems like all of a sudden, like, this kid shows up. He doesn't say he's being punished. Also, Ventura doesn't get mad at him for being late. Again, this is supposed to be like a Saturday detention wood shop. So why the fuck is this guy here? Who knows? he comes in, basically says he could kick the bully's ass, but he loses scholarship. Trey then gets mad for some reason and says, "You guys and your damn scholarships," and he storms off into a closet. Really unsure why this kid showed up whenever. Seems like it's supposed to be a punishment, but this jock takes his jacket off and just hangs it like he's here for a regular class. We get another flashback. Chris and Trey talking about Melanie. We don't know who that is. She's not. Is it supposed to be the girl?
That's what I was going to ask you.
Because I don't know if her name is. I don't think her name is Melanie.
I never heard him say a name.
Right. So Chris and Trey are talking about a girl named Melanie, like the child versions of them, being a bitch while doing homework. Chris won't let Trey cheat off his homework. Trey then offers to pay him to do his homework, but better is the way he phrases it. Do my homework, but better. So I don't know why he also can't have a good homework paper. Chris has to do Trey's homework better. Says his dad sold his company for $1 gazillion. So apparently that's why this Trey kid is rich and he has a BMW now. We go back to current times. Ventura calls over Johnson and Goldstein, calls him a waste of oxygen, and decides to pair them up together. Gives them a router to plug in and share to make a sign. For some reason, everyone gathers to watch this. Goldstein makes a sign that spells stupid.
With two O's.
It's spelled STOOPID, which is actually on the cover art. All right. 6 years earlier at Goldstein residence, Mom is teaching him piano. Now, this is where it kind of starts to get dark. I don't know how closely you paid attention to this, but this is the point where I was like, it's already not funny, and I'm like, what is this fucking movie doing right now? 6 years earlier at the Goldstein residence, Mom is teaching the piano. It sounds good, but the mom does not like it. She is pissed, and she's tired. He's tired of doing this, but he's forced to keep practicing, and she says that one day she wants him to be at Carnegie Hall, and he's never going to get there if he doesn't keep practicing. All of a sudden, she walks over to the bookshelf, and she takes a shit ton of pills and says she has to leave to get dinner, okay? The kid walks over. This is Goldstein, mind you. And he says, "What is this? Xanax?"
Yeah.
And he starts taking a shit ton of pills. What are we doing here? So then, for some reason, we cut to the bully kid's house from the same time period 6 years earlier. And the bully, Gary, is making cookies and stabbing them in front of his father. He threatens to stab his dad with a knife, but he's too busy to deal with that, the father. He takes a phone call. All of a sudden, Gary puts the gingerbread cookies on the fucking stove. Like, just not in a tray. He just puts the cookies on a stove and lights them on fires. The parents watch this and do nothing. Coincidentally, the father is a doctor who just got a phone call that a kid, we have to presume is Goldstein, just fucking OD'd, and he's got to go into work. What is happening in this movie right now?
It took a weird turn, and I didn't even know that was part of the path.
Why? Because, spoiler, as we review this movie, this never gets brought up again. We never circle back to this at all. What? Why? Why was this a fucking subplot of the movie? So Goldstein ODs for some reason. Dad says Gary said he'd kill him yesterday. They blame it on video games. And then the kid, before they cut back from the flashback, kills a cat with a knife. What the fuck is happening in this movie is what I wrote in my notes. Ventura leaves to go next door. Irresponsibly keeps leaving for some reason. Every time he leaves, something happens. Does not seem to give a shit. For some reason, the kids start throwing wood chips at each other. That's when the kid cuts his finger off. And the bully, Gary, is very happy about this. It looks very fake. Gary calls the kid a pussy as Ventura comes back to treat him. Jesse stops the bleeding. Now, this is the part of the movie where I think Jesse thought he was going to win some sort of award. And honestly, it wasn't that bad of acting, but I feel like Jesse was channeling something real here. He says, as he's treating the finger, he says he saw worse in the Gulf. He starts crying and says tells a story about a guy who saved him, but then he went MIA. He gets very dramatic here. Yeah. It's again, so we just went from random bad teen sex jokes to angry woodshop teacher to now kid ODing on pills and also other kid killing a cat, and then randomly flash forward to kid cutting off his finger to then a very emotional story about his friend going MIA and presumably dying in the Gulf War after saving Jesse Ventura's life.
Unbelievable.
Are you riding the roller coaster of emotion right now in the Lost Woodshop film?
Well, I haven't been on a roller coaster in a long time, but I feel like I'm going to puke.
The random jock that showed up late decides to ride in the ambulance with the kid that cut his finger.
Yeah, that guy became his best friend.
Yep. Now, after
Hey,
this
I was in
happens-
detention for 10 minutes. I'm going to leave with him.
After this happens, you would think, okay, you know what? I keep fucking leaving this room. Shit keeps happening, and it gets worse and worse. The kid just cut his finger. You know what? I'm going to try to observe what these kids are doing. Jesse says he has to make some phone calls and fill out a bunch of paperwork. Calls for an hour lunch. Okay?
Yeah,
So,
it goes for an hour.
An hour lunch, yes. The bully Gary immediately touches girl's ass and tries to beat up Chris. The kids fixing the car come in with hockey attire on for some reason. They're suddenly playing hockey in the open area that's supposed to be like locker / cafeteria / the entire school for some reason. The bully Gary randomly assaults Trey while they're playing hockey. The car guy hits Gary. Everyone tends to Trey. Jesse puts Trey's nose back into place on a table while Chris cries like he's fucking dying.
Yeah.
Chris is over on the side like this is the end for Trey. Your thoughts?
I thought it could have been the end for Trey.
You thought that?
Yeah, I thought it could have been the end for Jesse Ventura, too.
At what point do you think this teacher loses his job? Is it after the broken nose or the severed finger or the boy several times sexually assaulting a girl in the class?
And then why is this a thing? Why is he the guy they send him to when he's clearly the worst teacher?
Yeah.
The least caring. When that kid's finger got cut off, he put it back and he goes, good thing is they picked up at the ambulance place and they're on their way to get you. It'll be reattached in no time.
Yep.
What? The finger is severed?
It's going to be okay. It's a clean cut. Okay, so where am I at here in my notes? This is a film for sure. Trey doesn't want Jesse to call the cops or to go home. Mind you, he's in detention, so this would be a great way to get out of detention. Doesn't want to go. Jesse throws Gary the bully into a room and tells him, the bully says he's going to sue him, and he says, you think I give a shit? After he threatens to sue him, so, doesn't really do anything other than throw him into this room.
Right.
You would think like this would culminate in like a big confrontation between Jesse and the bully, but it does not. Trey and Chris go back into this closet area, and Trey blames Chris for his tires getting sliced and his nose getting broken, even though it is not in any way Chris's fault. Trey can't go to college, he admits, because his, quote, parents put the portfolio in the goddamn shitter, and I don't have the grades to go to college. So that's his big line. So very vague there. The portfolio is in the shitter. We don't really know what his dad was doing. We know they had $1 gazillion, and apparently it's gone now. Chris leaves the class. Bully is made to be the dust bitch, and the girl finds Chris hiding in the chemistry lab. Chris stares at her boobs.
Yeah, real random. A couple times that he did that.
Says that she just has something on her shirt. She calls him a perv, but then says, brush it off. And then he goes to brush it off, and she calls him a perv again. He explains to her that they could make a fucking bomb if they wanted to. And again, I'm like, what is happening in this movie? So is he like, are they going to bond over creating a bomb in the school? Like, this is very strange. She says she has never been in the chemistry lab before and adds, don't act surprised. I'm not exactly on college track. Now, what does that have to do with taking chemistry class?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a requirement to go to college, right? Is to be in chemistry?
I don't think so.
I don't remember taking chemistry.
No. So you went to college?
I did for a second. I don't remember it being a requirement. Like, you better go to chemistry if you want to go to college.
No, I got to pick whatever classes I wanted to go to.
They put their hands on a static electricity ball and start kissing. Then she throws him on the desk and starts making out with him. Then we go back 5 years earlier, for some reason, to a thing called the... Tell me if you've ever participated in a dance like this. Ladies' Choice Middle School Dance. The Ladies' Choice Middle School Dance.
Yeah.
You've been to a Ladies' Choice Middle School Dance.
Yeah.
What is a Ladies' Choice?
It's just, I forget what they call it, but it's...
Do they call it the Ladies' Choice?
Yes, or... I think that was more for Skate World. Did you ever go skating, roller skating as a kid? That was a big thing for us when I was
Roller
growing up.
skating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to roller skating once.
So, yeah, they'd have the couples skate.
Okay.
And then they'd have ladies' choice skate. So then the ladies got to pick which guy that they wanted to skate with.
Okay.
I ever tell you about the time that there was a girl that really liked me, and I could not stand her, and every week she would bother me at Skate World. And one time, so when you were the guys, you'd stand behind the wall, and the girls, as they went around the skating rink, when it was just a female skate, they would slap the hands of the guys, and they would give a little squeeze, maybe like the secret wrestler handshake, to the ones that they really wanted to skate with.
Okay.
And I just hated this one. So I spit on my hand. Okay. I mean, a fucking loogie.
Okay.
And when she came over, I didn't slap anybody's hand until it got to her. And she slapped my hand, and I gave the little squeeze, and she immediately knew that there was phlegm in her hand, and she turned around and just started punching the fuck out of me. And then a referee came over, and she beat the fuck out of him.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
What? This really escalated.
Yeah. I mean, it was an old guy. You know,
Yeah.
I felt bad for him. But
imagine if there was like a camera phone back.
Man, I wish. That would have been World Star.
Oh, my God.
You know, so I got out of it, right?
Yeah.
She continued on the referee, and then a bunch of people got her off of the ref, and somehow I got back in. And I remember going outside. They told me to leave and go outside for a bit to cool off. I remember I went outside, and there was dog shit
Okay.
on the pavement,
Right.
and I grabbed a stick, and I stuck it into 2 pieces of dog shit, and I went over to that girl, and she was taking her skates off because she was in trouble, and I said, I am just so sorry about everything that's gone on. I hope we can put this behind us. And I took the stick with 2 pieces of shit on it, and I put it right into her fucking skates, and I smashed it in there.
Right in front of her?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Because otherwise you get no reaction if she wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Sure,
I needed the
yeah.
reaction.
Yeah. So what was the reaction?
Oh, she began swinging again. I remember bleeding. But she was banned from Skate World. And then, and now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure I was justified.
You pretty sure?
Yeah. But I don't know how justified. Maybe it was just because I thought she was going to give me cooties or something. But I did not like her at all. I didn't like her in school when I saw her. I didn't like her at the skating rink. I didn't like the way she talked to people. And I don't know. She kept grabbing me all the time, and I didn't want to be touched by her.
Good Lord. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where were we? Okay, so we're at the ladies' choice middle school dance. Bunch of ladies are propped up in the middle, and Chris walks up to ask this Melanie out that he called a bitch earlier. She is straight up like, no. Dude goes and cries. Another girl. Again, we don't establish who this girl is. I think we are meant to assume that maybe it's the girl he just made out with.
Yeah, in the overalls. She told him to touch her boobs or whatever.
Girl consoles him and throws punches on Melanie. Dude is walking on clouds because he just made out with a chick. So we're back in present day. All of a sudden, Gary comes over and chokes him, claims that the girl in the overalls that he just made out with is his girlfriend.
Yeah, what a loser.
And then Gary, as a reminder, who as a child just randomly killed a cat in front of his parents, said he wants Chris to make him a fucking bomb. Chris is fucking crying like a straight-up pussy.
Oh, this was the worst part of the movie for me.
Why is that?
The dude just started crying.
There's no, redeeming qualities about this.
There
Chris
was
guy.
nothing that led to the crying. If you were going to cry when somebody cut their finger off earlier or, anything, if you got beat up. I think that the bully just grabbed him in a side headlock. And
Well, the thing is, there's nothing about this Chris guy at any point that makes me think, you know what? He's won me over. I want to see him find happiness at the end. He just says things awkwardly and cries and, gets treated like a bitch. There's just nothing that I like about him. Jesse Ventura calls for him in 30 seconds over a loudspeaker, him being the bully. So all of a sudden he's looking for the bully. No one else he seems to care about.
This is the countdown.
Yeah, so he starts counting down 30, 29,
and this goes on too long.
27. I think he gets to 17.
Yeah.
And then they cut away to the next scene.
Nah, dude, I think they were down to 8.
Chris tells Trey he's being forced to make a bomb. Trey does not give a shit. They go back in the closet, and Chris tells him...
I bet they do.
Trey tells him to call the cops and that he's a dumbass if he doesn't. Gary ruined Trey's guitar. Trey discovers in this closet that his guitar, his prize guitar, has been drawn on and ruined. So now he wants payback. He says he wants to kill him. Chris is being aggressive with Trey, pins him up against the wall and says they won't take his shit. Ventura ignores all this noise as we cut to Ventura in the other room hearing this. Does not care to get up or anything. He's
Is
done
this
too
where
much
he's reading
today.
the newspaper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, for some reason, Chris and Trey hug. Dudes come back out from the parking lot, the car guys. Jesse Ventura barely gives a shit. The kids are plotting together in the office. Chris says he needs a decoy, a coordinator, a mechanic, and a computer hacker. Because, of course, every fucking movie like this needs a goddamn computer hacker. Goldstein, coincidentally, has hacked a bunch of computers. Jesse Ventura thinks they were all smoking pot in the closet. Of course, typical old man behavior. Gary the bully wanders back into class. Some punishment for these kids when they can just wander in and out, right? Bully makes a polishing knob comment to the chick. She says she has serious experience polishing knobs to the bully. She is the distraction in this scenario.
Yep.
Goldstein is, quote, gonna go check his email.
Oh, hold on. The bully is definitely like any heel that's ever been in wrestling.
Yeah.
And thinks he's got a shot with a chick, and then she just lures him in.
Chick takes the bully by the hand, walks him outside. Ventura realizes suddenly that they've all left the room, as if this hasn't happened several times throughout the course of this 8-hour day. For some reason, the hacking that Goldstein is doing has screensavers with his own personal logo for some reason.
Yep.
His username is stupid.
Yeah.
STOOPID. Okay. He's just typing nonsense. It's one of those things where it's just like, he's like clearly just not typing anything in particular, and the screen is just doing different stuff. For whatever reason, he changes Trey's grades, I guess. So this is going to culminate with like Trey having good grades at the end of the film.
And he's going to be able to go to college.
Yes. Gary the bully, instead of banging this chick like any rational bully who's sexual assaulted a girl several times, is just walking down the hallway holding hands with her for some reason. Gary tells Chris, who he confronts in the chemistry lab, that he, quote, erased all the camera footage while Chris was making the bomb. This guy, Gary the bully, wants to fucking blow up Jesse Ventura with a time-detonated bomb. What the fuck? Dude has gunpowder. Not sure how he had time to go get gunpowder, but he must have left and got gunpowder. Goldstein is hacking again, and for some reason, he writes the following. I paused the screen to see what he was typing on the screen. He wrote, "Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Suffering leads to masturbation. Masturbation leads to sleep. Sleep leads to happiness." And that, in that paused moment, is probably one of the only things that actually makes sense in the movie, because all of that is true.
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
No.
Why not?
I've never been angry.
For some reason, Goldstein is able to hack into Homeland Security to reroute calls. So instead of the call going to Jesse, the shop teacher, so that the bomb goes off, it will go to Chris's phone. So that way Chris can detonate the bomb. Bully tries to rig up Ventura's car, throws a bag in the dumpster, but the weird wheel guy is in the dumpster and takes the bag out while the bully doesn't notice because he's distracted by the other car guy, and he puts the bomb bag into the bully's car. Car guy investigates the truck. This truck is, of course, Jesse Ventura's truck. Doesn't find anything back inside. Ventura's going to grade...
Hold on. Isn't there a security guard or somebody that asks him, what the hell are you doing around this truck?
No, that's the car guy.
Okay.
That's the car guy that's investigating. So the car guy has to check the truck for some reason.
Okay.
And this Gary is intimidated by the car guy. Bully tries to... I'm sorry. Back inside. Ventura's going to grade some woodshop projects and give us updates on Kid's finger, which his finger's going to be just fine. Just randomly throws out there. We'll make sure we wanted to put a lid on that one. The bully Gary is forcing girl in his car while kids clearly watch. Cops show up and arrest Gary the bully for having a pipe bomb in his fucking car. So apparently they set him up to so the cops could find the bomb in his car. Jesse the woodshop teacher reunites with the FBI shows up, and the leader of the bomb squad just happens to be the guy that he mentioned had gone missing in MIA and saved him back in the Gulf War. So they have like this emotional moment and hug and embrace.
Charlie, is that you?
Yeah.
It is, Jesse.
Who would have known that he was the lieutenant of the bomb squad or the?
I thought you perished.
Yeah.
I didn't know what happened to you.
Suddenly, even though it was supposed to be like detonated, it randomly, the bomb squad doesn't try to defuse the bomb or take the bomb out. They simply put Gary in the car, and then randomly the bomb blows up Gary's car. Everyone laughs at this. Goldstein,
Oh, Gary.
Chris and Trey walk out, and we cut to the final scene. Chris and Trey walk out with the gun rack. It's completed. Goldstein wipes out on a skateboard. The girl is about to ride a motorcycle. Chris tells Trey about the grade change. Trey is very happy and thankful that he can now go to college. Chris and the girl have a moment by the motorcycle. Girl asks Chris if he likes boys and girls. The joke here is that Chris is bisexual. If you didn't get that, that's what they're going for here.
Yeah. I felt like it wasn't funny then.
Yeah.
And even less so now.
Yeah. Trey and Goldstein drive off in the BMW. Chris awkwardly tries to ask the girl to be his girlfriend. She cuts him off and says, "Get on my bike, bitch." And then Chris says, "It's Mr. Bitch." I wrote, this movie was awful. And then I keep it playing as I'm writing this. What is this, a fucking Marvel movie? Post-credits.
You stayed till the end.
Gary the bully is in a prison cell, gives a finger to the camera. I keep watching. There's a second post-credits scene in this movie.
Yeah.
Goldstein, with Jesse Ventura, carves out and offers him a peace pipe. And that's how the movie ends. This is a real movie that exists.
Yep.
We have it up on our YouTube channel. I don't know if you want to experience this for yourself. The goal is to get you to watch the film, but after reviewing this and speaking out loud, I feel like now you will actively not watch this movie.
Well, I thought your plan was we shit on the movie so bad that everybody's like, I got to see this. Because really, if you like shitty movies, which a lot of our base does,
yes,
I think they'll be into this just for the fun factor of it, I guess.
And just the fact that like it doesn't exist. People don't know this exists. I mean, it's got a Wikipedia, but beyond that, I even tried to not even did I look on eBay to try to find this film. Like I imagined like someone would have one copy for like $100 or something, or I couldn't find anything. And then I even tried to look at like recently sold or last sold, like what it sold for. Jesse Ventura Woodshop. I don't know that one is ever sold on eBay. I cannot find anything on this goddamn movie other than that we have it on our YouTube channel, along with a plethora of other things that you can watch. I'll be uploading some more stuff in the coming weeks, so subscribe to our YouTube if you haven't already. If you have or have seen a terrible movie that you know of that is not on YouTube, because sometimes, these lower budget films that go under the radar with these pro wrestlers, you can kind of skate by and get them up on YouTube. If you got something you know is not out there and you want us to put it up on YouTube, let us know. Contact me directly, and we'll make it happen. We want people to see these terrible wrestling movies. But follow us on our social media at Iron on Wrestling for more updates. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you download podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, all that good stuff. Patreon.com/Iron on Wrestling is a great way to support the podcast. $3 gets you in the door. Of course, we have the free tier if you want to listen to the free episode that we're going to be putting in this week. And $5 for video, $9 for bonus subjects, and a live chat with me, at least an hour of my time once a month. Buttload of other content over there. You can go up and up in the tiers. Patreon.com/Iron on Wrestling. And, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, at Gregory Iron, Instagram, Gregory_Iron, Facebook.com/TheHandicappedHero. You can contact me at my website, www.handicappedhero.com. You can contact me for pro wrestling seminars, motivational speaking engagements, and, as long as you're not too weird, contact me for anything else I'm not wrestling. So, yeah, contact me there. Patreon. Cameo is linked up on my handicappedhero.com, prowrestlingtees.com/Gregory Iron for my shirts, Aaron shirts, Iron on Wrestling shirts. A lot of our shirts are still $20 up on the website. In this day and age, you'd be hard pressed to find brand new shirts for $20. So go and support some way, somehow. Aaron, what would you like to plug?
I am on Twitter at Fair to Air. I'm on the other thing too. What's that other one they got these days?
Blue Sky.
Blue Sky Order. So I'm on the Blue Sky as well. Blue Sky, I'm on that one, and I haven't used it in a while. Mm-hmm. So it's All Wrestling is my name there. And I just want to give a shout-out to the Blue Sky restaurant, who's doing excellent chicken soup.
Blue Sky is good locally here in the Elyria area. Elyria, Lorraine. It's nice. Good times.
Cleveland, Akron, Canton, Youngstown. That's what Gene Okerlund would always say.
Sure. Well, that's it, and we're going to have some more stuff over on Patreon this week, so if you want more Greg and Air, go for Patreon. And until then, We'll see you on the flip side, episode 309.
Dude, how bad was that movie?
It was bad.
It was really, really bad.
It was really bad.
I kept thinking, it's not that bad. And then there'd be something worse that happened. And then there'd be something worse that happened.
Yeah.
And then I said, I better not say nothing. Let's see what Greg thinks. He probably likes it.
Sorry, Leo. Like, I don't know if there was anything that could have made this film better, bud. It just
maybe
wasn't
if
that great.
Greg was guzzling a little more.
I'm not going to guzzle. All right. Kiss goodbye.